Hello and welcome back to FrogClan. Today we are going to be picking up where we left off on our way towards moon 114 and then our decision about what exactly is going to be affecting our clan here. We are definitely growing with the number of kits and apprentices we currently have. Before I do anything else, I did get some recommendations to make Iris Shadow a mediator. I was debating between that and Medicine Cat Apprentice when they first went to retirement. Ultimately, I thought it could be interesting to have them in the den as an elder, just because we don't really have that happen all that often, and I left the settings on for cats to be able to choose. And ultimately it could even be beneficial depending on what our upcoming extinction event's going to be, to have a cat that's dedicated to keeping the camp. He is deaf, so it could definitely be impactful in some ways, but he's able-bodied, so he's strong enough to help out still. So I'm debating between that. For right now, I'm going to keep him exactly where he's at, though. And we're going to go ahead and time skip to moon 112. No one knows who Twilight Glide has had their litter of 5 kits with, but they seem very happy watching over their little offspring nursery. 5 kits! Creek Jumble announced that they're expecting kits, but choose to continue their duties as usual for now. Lizard Sky has finally gotten rid of their fleas. The effort of dragging their paralyzed half across camp has left Maple Paw's joints aching and sore. And we've noticed that all of our time has gone bad and will have to be replaced. Once again, we're not going to really be going through relationships very much just because of how much there is. So we'll just be keeping an eye on cats' relationships as they develop, really. Let's take a look at Twilight Glide's mini kits here. So first up we have Guppy Kit here. A newborn female with copper eyes and a classic pelt. Looks like a black and white tabby pelt, maybe. She is polite. Guppy Kit is an adorable name. After that we have Conch Kit, a newborn male with pale yellow eyes, a Bengal gray and white pelt who is troublesome. I'm going to change Conch just because we've gotten quite a few Conch. Okay, we'll stick with the C name, Cave Kit. And up next we have Chirp Kit, a little newborn female with silver eyes, a calico pelt, who is sweet. After that we have Hyacinth Kit, a newborn male with heather blue eyes and a speckled gray-blue pelt, who is lonesome. Finally, we have Spark Kit, a newborn male with silver eyes, a rosette pelt that appears to just be plain white. We'll see if that changes as he gets older, who is daring. So a lot of kits here. I'm going to go ahead and roll for them and their unknown parent. It looks like one of their parents is an outsider that belongs to no clan. So I'll just roll for the parent and then we'll roll for all the kits and I'll come back with whatever they have. Okay, I'm all done rolling. So it looks like Twilight Glide had 4 traits total for the kits to inherit. Deaf ears, which is always negative, slit eyes, a muscular body, and taloned paws. Her mate was just a normal cat, so the kits all have 50-50 chance of getting any of those traits or inheriting a new one. So starting off here with Guppy Kit. Poor Guppy Kit only inherited her mother's deaf ears, which means that she's already got a -1 and she only has a -1. Cave Kit, on the other hand, was actually lucky enough to get the 10% chance of a random mutation, and he ended up with the muscular body, scaly tail, and talon paws, which definitely imbues a certain image. Chirp Kit had deaf ears, slit eyes, and a muscular body, losing the talon paws. Hyacinth Kit ended up with the muscular body and talon paws. And Spark Kit ended up with the same, a muscular body and talon paws. So all things considered, it's definitely not the worst straw, but poor little Guppy Kit got about as unlucky as you could get. And let's see. Creek Jimble is now also expecting kits, so I'm curious to see if that's from within or without the clan. Now that we've got everything rolled, I'm gonna go ahead and just check out our cats and see what's going on with everybody. Free Feather is eavesdropping on Twilight Glide. She's one of our newer cats who's cunning with a keen eye. So I'm wondering if there's some kind of mystery she's expecting Twilight Glide to have, possibly relating to her kits. Chasing Paw and Lagoon Paw are gossiping together. Maple Paw is wondering if they'll have to fight a battle anytime soon. She's still hurt with damaged eyes and now has joint pain, so she's not really having a very good time of it right now. But I'm curious to see how she'll fare if she gets better. The damaged eyes is a trait I've never seen a cat get, so I don't know what the odds of her, developing blindness or something would be. Bib and Boppler is still doing pretty well here. Weavile Kit and their litter mates are all 1 moon away from becoming apprentices. Whimsy Kit is asking Irish Shadow what it's like to be so old. The cat that's like 3 moons older than them. Okay. No very interesting developments there. We'll go ahead and jump into our patrols, though. Murklaw successfully gathers catmint, which is great. It's Greenleaf now, but it'll be winter here soon. Trailing behind the patrol, the dune they're crossing shifts beneath Shining Leaf's paws. They look around for safe footing just as the world goes dark. Their clanmates come running at their yowls, and Shining Leaf is soon freed, shaken but unharmed. The patrol settles down as everyone comforts each other. It's always such a scary prompt to get. Just with the consequences of that. While on patrol week, Crackle notices some suspicious paw prints in the wet sand. But it turns out to be their own paw prints, and we Crackle huffs with embarrassment. Nothing very interesting happened there. We had a lot of successful training, a lot of successful improvement with other bordering cat territories. Since we're so late in the game here, it's probably not really other clans, but probably rogues or even other animals, so we'll go ahead and time skip. Creek Jumble thinks they'll have a small litter. They don't believe they can efficiently perform their duties while expecting kits and decide to move into the nursery. Unfortunately, Bib and Boppler did pass away from their head damage, and they take their place in StarClan, where their life is mourned and stories are shared amongst the clan. Weavile Kit loudly complains as Murklaw pulls them over to quickly groom their pelt. They manage to wriggle away and scurry off to the front of the crowd for their ceremony, where they are renamed to Weavile Paw and apprenticed to Free Feather. To gain access to both life-saving herbs and life-threatening poisons, Fleetpaw decides to become a medicine cat and is apprenticed to Murklaw. We'll have to double check and make sure Fleetpaw does have the mutations to become a medicine cat, but the life-threatening poisons is raising some red flags about Fleetpaw's motives there. Almost immediately after Jellyfish Paw touches noses with Hair Shadow, they start asking about when they're going to go out and explore the territory. So it seems Hair Shadow is finally getting an apprentice. Sniphusk's brain is healed, but then she got fleas. Jirachi Lightning managed to recover from heat exhaustion. Basil Nibble tells himself they can't let these feelings consume them, instead they have to learn to live with it. Flaxpaw has healed from their claw wound, but will be forever marked by a scar. That's good for us because that means a random mutation. And unfortunately, Bib and Boppler passes. Whimsy Kit falls into a river, but is saved by Webstem. There was a cat that had a trait is concerned about Whimsy Kit, so I'm wondering if that was a prelude to this event. Okay, so Fleetpaw does have the mutations necessary, and sure enough, Fleetpaw is bloodthirsty medicine cat apprentice. So I guess she's following in her mother's footsteps and becoming a bloodthirsty medicine cat apprentice. But since she actually chose it, I'm curious to see if she'll do a little bit better than Bright Torrent did. Bright Torrent did eventually mellow out into a pretty well-respected clan member, so maybe Fleetpaw will too. Maybe he'll just get Carnage, I don't know. But I'm curious to see how it'll go. Fleetpaw also grew to be a careful listener, though. Yeah, she's picking a fight with somebody else. Okay. So here's Flaxpaw, is at the medicine cat den after a small injury. I don't think I qualify that wound as small. So it looks like their scar is right across their face. And this is what they look like with a tail. Okay. Have they been born with one? Alright, so we'll go ahead and roll and see what random trait Flaxpaw ends up with then. Okay, Flaxpaw didn't get a good trait. So he ended up getting the negative trait for teeth, which is toothless. So I guess that scar across his face had a little bit more damaging effect than it seemed. Okay, though. So these are Twilight Clyde's kits now that they're a little bit older. Guppy Kit grew into a bit of a darker coloration with those dark copper eyes. She's polite and confident with words, making sure not to get in any cat's way. Cave Kit seems to have some hints of like a tan gray in his markings now. He turned out to be troublesome, but confident with words. Churkit is cheering Skystalk on. She is sweet and confident with words. She's got very interesting pale markings between her calico patternings and silver eyes there. Hyacinth Kit is growing fond of their brother Cave Kit. He is lonesome but quick-witted. And then Spark Kit did have a little bit of a brown patch on their chest, it looks like. Is wishing Chirk Kit would play more quietly, but grew to be daring and an avid play fighter. Okay. Ooh, Merclaw actually turned out to be insecure instead of strict. Seems like he kind of grew to be less confident in himself, maybe? Free Feather is currently watching over the kits. Probably not related to her other concerns, I'm sure. Blossom Patch is currently feeling inadequate about being nothing more than an ordinary warrior. So that definitely speaks to the ambitious trait there. I think she's wanting to be a little bit more solid in her place in the clan. Maplepaw is acting angsty right now. I mean, I probably would be too in her circumstances. So here's Weavilepaw, definitely growing into their smoke pelt. She grew to be responsible with an interest in clan history. Jellyfish Paw fell into the nearby creek yesterday and is feeling damp. She is troublesome but quick to help. Very close in appearance to Fleetpaw, that is for sure. Let's see. Fleetpaw does just have a little bit more blue in their pelt, it looks like. Okay. Go ahead and send out all of our mini patrols here. Wee Crackle doesn't step up to teach Flaxpaw during their training session, which is pretty in character for Wee Crackle since they've just been having so much trouble settling into clan life. Weavilepaw and Free Feather go out on a training patrol where Free Feather tries to ask Weavilepaw if there's something they can help them with, or something they want to talk about when they notice that Weavilepaw is acting strangely. But Weavilepaw immediately shuts down, muttering a request to please just keep the patrol focused on training. Raincrest and Lagoon Paw have a disagreement while out on patrol. With a deep sigh, Raincrest holds back their temper and instead sits down to explain their reasoning to the young cat. They can see why Lagoon Paw thinks differently, but practicing this way will help Lagoon Paw build muscle better than taking the cheap way out. Lagoon Paw also sighs, apologizing for their outbursts. This combination between these two, being grumpy and strict, I feel like they've had quite a few interactions like this. So it's kind of a surprising level of maturity that they're able to actually talk it out instead of just fighting, since really they seem like they're kind of at ends there. Murklaw takes Fleetpaw out, and the red poppy flowers are pretty, but it's dried flower heads that contain the seeds that Murklaw wants, and they take as many as they can. Fleetpaw knows how crucial poppy seeds are for the clan, and Murklaw is proud of how hard they work. And gather some poppy. Oh? While searching for some specific herbs, Pebblestalk is startled by weird sounds and whispers on the wind. We do follow the sounds to the queen, but unfortunately we are not successful in saving her or her kits. There are dark clouds on the horizon, and Sniphusk wonders if they should continue. We're going to use our pass and say no, and head back early. Just because I really don't think any of the cats are going to want to risk a storm when they don't have to. And same exact story here. We luckily have enough passes for a serious star. Whimsypaw has reached the age of 6 moons and has been made an apprentice. Whirlpaw has reached the age of 6 moons, been made apprentice with Lizard Sky as her mentor. And Bristlepaw excitedly touches noses with their new mentor Dustapple, looking quite eager to start training. Whenever someone asks whether Creek Jumble will be alright raising the litter 2 kits alone, they just smile and reply that everything is going to work out fine. Sniphusk is free of fleas at last. The joint pain that Maplepaw is experiencing is abated, and Free Feather's gotten white cough. Hair Shadow is seen speaking calmly to a cat on the outside, and that's all there is there. Okay, so we're at Moon 114, which means we are finally going to find out what our next extinction event's going to be. Murklaw knows from experience, especially with Sirius Star sample experience, that they're about due for another one of the prophesied events from StarClan to come soon. He speaks closely with the other medicine cats and medicine cat apprentice, and warns them to bring any signs of anything to him, any warnings, any dreams, any prophecies or omens that they think they find. Anything and everything could prove to be a hint at what's to come, and the clan needs that more than ever just to make sure that they can keep their many young members safe. Murklaw goes to sleep that night, and soon wakes in a dream on a dark gray battlefield with cats screaming in the distance and the scent of blood around him. He immediately knows that this is the sign that he had just warned the others about. He sees only cats moving in the dark, amorphous shadows that, with glowing eyes that he can identify as cats. Friendly, not friendly. They wail and screech eerily, and he doesn't recognize any of the shadows as they tussle with one another, fighting viciously for scraps of land, food, he's not sure. He does hear a whisper in his ear of a clanmate long past, telling Murklaw that this is going to be their future. Others from outside of the clan will descend, trying to take what is theirs, because this site is going to be the final battleground for what's to come in the future. FrogClan must defend this with their lives, as it's going to be their only chance to survive. He wakes with a shudder, hair standing on end, and immediately rouses the others and tells them what's to come. Siriusar almost seems relieved by this news, however. He understands that this is really a mortal threat, But this is one that they can fight with tooth and claw. It's not something that is completely beyond the scope of their control. It's not water or coal or fire. It is simply an enemy, and one that they fight when they have great experience fighting. And so he calls the clan together and warns them of Murklaw's vision, telling them what to expect and to redouble upon training and border patrols. All the cats must know how to fight, and fight well for what is to come. There may be a time when even the apprentices and kits need to fight, so all the queens are expected to teach at least basic moves to the kits so that they know what to do if an enemy were to approach them. The clan also seems heartened by this news and by Wisteria Star's good mood about it. They feel very reassured that this is something that they can in fact handle, that this time their fate is truly within their own paws. The clan eagerly sets back to task, preparing for what is to come. Murklaw looks on, however, from the shadows. He can't help but feel like the clan is missing an important piece of the puzzle. It can't be as simple as that, but he dismisses his own concerns and goes about preparations, trying to focus on getting herbs for wounds in the upcoming battle. Okay, check out our cats, now that we know what danger is coming. Sniphusk thinks that they're going crazy, so maybe she is expecting something else to be happening here too. Jirachi Lightning is taking everything to heart. She is sparring with some clanmates. Lizard Sky is trying to set a good example for younger cats, probably in devotion and training there. Same with Free Feather. Hair Shadow is also sparring, as is Weed Crackle, who probably feels very insecure with the upcoming threats. Blossom Patch is ordering their fellow clanmates about, probably feeling she knows better when it comes to these preparations, despite her youth and inexperience with anything of this nature. Vival Kid is dreaming of someday making their clan proud, possibly in this event. So here's Whimsy Paw grown up a bit more. She turned out to be shameless and a lover of stories, and is asking Jirachi Lightning questions about warrior life. She's going to be very pretty when she's older. Same with Whirlpaw here, who is charismatic, splashes and puddles, and quick-witted. She wants to get to know Lizard Sky better, her mentor. Here's Bristlepaw, who had a very strange dream. He is ambitious and interested in clan history, which, especially right now, that's pretty important to be. And then here we have Gold Kit, snuggling up to the Belly Creek Jumble. Turned out to be bossy, a newborn male with hazel eyes and mackerel pelt. And Nimble Kit, a newborn female with hazel eyes, a speckled pelt, and sweet nature. So it looks like for them, they are half clan, so they're born into the clan, but their parents are in another. So we're going to go ahead and roll for their parent and themselves, and we'll see what they get. Okay, so my poor luck with the other parents continues. Creek Jumble just had a broad head. The other parent was completely normal, so it was a 50-50 chance that the kits keep it. Gold Kit ended up keeping the broad head, whereas Nimble Kit did not, but she actually rolled for random mutation, and she ended up with cute eyes. So they both at least have one trait. Maybe not the best, maybe not the worst, but they both at least have something. And we'll send out our patrols here real quick. Murklaw and Fleet Paw gathers some Elaine, which helps ease lungs and muscles infections. Pibblestock does gather some Daisy. Weed Crackle once again does not step up to teach Flaxpaw. Shining Leaf and Chasing Paw get into a disagreement, with Shining Leaf rolling their eyes, as amused by the apprentice's audacity as they are annoyed. Lizard Sky takes the apprentices out for some battle training. And everyone has a nice practice session with Weevilpaw really getting into it. Praise for their focus and enthusiasm. While Bristlepaw and Dustapple are out walking, Bristlepaw seems preoccupied. Dustapple asks what's wrong. They reveal they've been having a hard time sleeping. Their dreams are filled with shadows and images. Possibly what's to come, even. That honestly sounds like it could be a vision. It's unusual. It's also not to say it's particularly fun, but Dustapple hastens to add it's not a bad thing. Those connected to StarClan, such ways are rare and have been critical for protecting FrogClan in the past. While helping gathering Erd, Jellyfish Paw stumbles upon a bush of red berries. We're not going to proceed here. As our patrol is checking the border lines, we notice that BogClan sent us straight into our territory. They're our ally, but this is a bit suspicious. Honestly, given the omen we just had, I think we're going to antagonize them. How dare they trespass? We bound after the scent, hoping to find a source of it, eventually finding it leads to the FrogClan camp. Inside, they find a BogClan medicine cat conversing with our own. We tell the patrol off for so hastily jumping to conclusions. The other medicine cat was only looking to borrow some herbs. Even so. We do find a cat that is interested in joining the clan. We banter, making them feel more welcome. We don't have to do much convincing. The kitty pet seems happy to join. Makini has joined the clan. Let's take a look at Makini. So Makini is a young adult male with hazel eyes, a smoke pelt with some white markings, short fur length, and indigo bell collar. He is gloomy, an incredible runner, and a good teacher. He used to be a kitty pet, but after dreaming with starry-furred cats, they followed the whispers to the clan. Okay, so I think that means that they definitely have at least one trait. Yep, just the one. Okay. Let's see what that is. Makini here just has a muscular body. We will go ahead and add a suffix. Makini bounce. Okay. And I think we'll go ahead and leave it off here now that we know what threat is going to be ailing us. And we'll start off next time with that final descent down towards our rivals attacking us. So, I hope you enjoyed so far. Until next time, stay safe and happy. I will see you then. And bye!